What's up guys? Welcome back. This is Top 10 FL. Please like, comment, subscribe, or get flagged.
Today we're going to take a look at the Baltimore Ravens. Last year's team was loaded with superstars, and coming off a 14-2 campaign, the Ravens reloaded during the draft and free agency to have another legit shot at the Super Bowl. They pulled off the trade for Campbell to provide extra veteran leadership on and off the field, while also drafting LSU linebacker Patrick Queen and Ohio State running back J.K. Dobbins in the first two rounds. John Harbaugh has his team trending in the right direction and should again be one of the top teams in the AFC. As it stands now, with Lamar Jackson coming off an MVP in only his second year, the Ravens are built to compete with anyone, Patrick Mahomes, for the foreseeable future. Let's take a look at the Ravens' top 10 players going into 2020. Number 10, Justin Tucker. Try to think of a kicker that has been better than Justin Tucker during his 8-year career. Can't think of one? That's because statistically, he's the most accurate kicker in NFL history, posting a 90.75% makes on his field goal attempts. He owns most Ravens franchise records and many NFL records for a kicker. There hasn't been a better kicker in crunch time either, making 14 game-winning field goals during his 8-year tenure. There isn't a more reliable leg in the league than Tucker, so look for him to continue his Hall of Fame career in 2020 as the best player at his position. Number 9, Orlando Brown. It isn't hard to see why Orlando Brown is becoming one of the best tackles in all of football. Like, literally, the dude's 6'8" and towers over everyone. He's going into his third year in the league, quickly proving the teams that passed on him in the first two rounds of the 2018 draft wrong, as evidenced by his first Pro Bowl appearance last year. He's also only had 2 penalties while starting all 16 games and continues to get better. He has all-pro caliber talent, and next year might be when he puts it all together. Number 8, Marcus Peters. It's incredible to think someone with Marcus Peters' talent has already been traded twice at such a young age, but that's the situation he's been dealt. He was one of the top up-and-coming cornerbacks when he was with the Chiefs, and he continued his rise after he was traded to the Rams. Even after proving he was worth a contract extension, the Rams traded him to the Ravens mid-season, and Peters is once again one of the top cornerbacks in the league that values tight cover men. Last year alone, he had 14 passes defended to go along with 5 interceptions. Peters knows what it's like to play on the big stage, having never missed the playoffs and going to the Super Bowl just 2 years ago, so he's hoping to contribute to Baltimore's efforts to get back there next year. Look for him to be the same ball hawk we've become accustomed to. Number 7, Campbell. I'm not sure what the Ravens are offering behind closed doors, because this is a trade they pulled off that on paper looks like they fleeced the other guy. The organization only traded a 5th-round pick to get the Pro Bowler Campbell from the Jags, as they will happily let him step in and become a leader on the defensive side of the ball. Calais might be up there in age, but his play on the field says otherwise. He recorded 55 total tackles with 6.5 sacks, which you could really consider a down year by his standards. He's still at the top of his game at age 33, and this might finally be the year he goes all the way. Watch out for Campbell this year, as the star vet is hungry for a title. Number 6, Mark Andrews. It's almost becoming an annual trend for young tight ends to break out in their second year, and if so, Mark Andrews kept that trend going. In an offense that was stacked with playmakers, Andrews made himself stand out. He caught 64 passes for 852 yards and 10 touchdowns last year, while also doing a lot of the dirty work for the league's #1 rush offense. Mark Andrews is quickly becoming a complete top-tier tight end, and it wouldn't be surprising for him to surpass his catches, yards, and touchdowns this year as his chemistry with Lamar Jackson continues to grow. Expect Andrews to vault himself into the Travis Kelce, George Kittle stratosphere of tight ends next season. Number 5, Mark Ingram. Last year, the Ravens were able to pluck the thunder to Alvin Kamara's lightning in the form of Mark Ingram, and needless to say, that worked out well for them on the field. In Ingram's first season in Baltimore, he rushed for 1,018 yards on 202 carries for an average of 5 yards a carry with 10 touchdowns. Not to mention, he also caught 26 passes for 247 yards and an additional 5 touchdowns. For a running back entering his 10th season, Ingram doesn't have as much tread on the tires due to being in a multi-running back system during his Saints tenure. His carries might go down this year due to the addition of J.K. Dobbins, but don't look for his production to take a hit. Ingram thrives under pressure, and his passionate personality infects the rest of his teammates on game day. Look for Ingram to continue being the workhorse for the league's #1 rush offense. Number 4, Earl Thomas. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Earl Thomas has had a rough offseason. Derrick Henry turned him into a meme during the playoffs last year, and then he had some weird stuff going on with his brother and some hookers who I'm sure are very nice ladies, but none of that has anything to do with this list, so let's move on. The former Legion of Boom star definitely brought that mentality to the Ravens last season when they signed him to a 4-year, $55 million contract. Even though his last year with Seattle ended on a sour note and a broken leg, that didn't stop him from coming back and wreaking havoc on opposing offenses. Thomas recorded 47 total tackles, 4 passes defended, 2 interceptions, and 2 sacks in his first season for the Ravens. After more than a full year of recovery and playing time, the 31-year-old Thomas should vault himself back into the upper echelon of safeties in the league if he can stay healthy. There isn't another safety in the league with Thomas's combination of range and speed, and he hopes he can continue laying the boom on opponents this year. Number 3, Marlon Humphrey. Arguably the Ravens' best defender, Marlon Humphrey is proving he belongs in the top tier of cornerbacks. Going into his 4th year, he's established himself as a lockdown corner and goes up against every team's number 1 wideout. Last year he posted 62 total tackles, 14 passes defended, and 3 interceptions starting all 16 games. Humphrey is a model of consistency and is ready to take another leap heading into year 4 to try to get his team past the 2nd round of the playoffs. Marlon Humphrey should have another Pro Bowl caliber year, continuing to make life difficult for opposing wideout. Number 2, Ronnie Stanley. If you're an offensive lineman making top 10 list, you must be pretty good, right? Well, if you're one of the best young left tackles in football, starting for the league's number 1 productive offense, it doesn't hurt either. This is where we find the Ravens' Ronnie Stanley. Stanley was a number 6 overall pick in 2016 and has proven the Ravens right for drafting him that high, as he has become one of the best left tackles in all of football. He started 14 games last year with only 4 penalties and no sacks given up while being named first team All-Pro. Look for another All-Pro season from Stanley, as he and Orlando Brown should challenge for the best tackle duo in the league while keeping Lamar Jackson upright for the foreseeable future. Speaking of Lamar, number 1, Lamar Jackson. Come on, man, how could I have the reigning MVP of the league anywhere else? What we saw out of Lamar Jackson last year is something I don't think has ever been done before, even with Michael Vick. The leap Jackson took from year 1 to 2 was so huge that no one saw it coming. He looked like he was playing on an easy Madden simulation mode, juking defenders everywhere on his way to the end zone. His passing improved tremendously as he completed 265 passes for 3,127 yards and 36 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. He also rushed for 1,206 yards to go along with 7 touchdowns. Jackson does still have a bit of a fumbling problem, but that should get cleaned up in year 3. It's pretty hard to prepare for a running back who can also throw the football, but let's not disrespect Lamar like that. That dude is a true quarterback in every way possible, and even though he's only 23 years old, the sky's the limit for his potential. We'll definitely be expecting another MVP-type season from Jackson next year. Look for Lamar to have his team in title contention for the foreseeable future with him running the franchise.
Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, or go get flagged. This is Top 10 FL.